Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about a program that I use for most of my clients called CCleaner. Usually when I go out to a client's home or office and they're running a Windows machine, first thing I do is install and run CCleaner. That pretty much wipes out most of the temporary files or any registry glitches or any of that kind of stuff. CCleaner's been around for a long time. I currently use the 64-bit edition. You can download the 32-bit edition as well. If you come out here to puriform.com/CCleaner, or you can just type in CCleaner.com. That'll bring you to the same location. You can get them out here and you go to download. It's pretty simple. Click on the download. I usually get the free one. You can pay for the other one if you need technical support. But you probably won't need that because you'll be calling me, I'm sure. So what I usually do is click on download from File Hippo, and you can do that, and that'll pop open another window. And then over here up at the top you can click download the latest version, and when you do that, that's going to pop open a window and it's going to ask you to save it. And I already have it, so in your case you'll just hit save and make sure you know where it's saving. Mine is saving into my data downloads folder, so I know where it's going to be. So you might want to just come over here and drop it on your desktop to make it simple. You can drop it into your desktop somewhere, and that way it's going to be easier for you to locate. Just hit save and you're ready to go. Once you get that in, you're going to want to launch it and run the installation. Basically just double click the file that you downloaded. Okay, so once you get it installed, basically this is what it's going to look like. Pretty straightforward. You got a cleaner icon up here on the left hand tabs. You've got registry, tools, and options. Basically it's pretty straightforward. You've got a couple of tabs right here at the top, Windows and applications, so just select cleaner. If you use Internet Explorer, you might want to uncheck this one for cookies or your history if you depend on your history, if you don't like it to be erased. I don't use Internet Explorer, and when I do, I want to wipe out everything when I'm done using it. So you just come through the options here. Most of them are going to be defaulted. One thing to note is if you come down to the advanced section, I have these three options checked: old prefetched data, tray notifications cache, and some IS log files. But you want to make sure to stay away from doing the wipe free space. You can do it once, initially, if you feel comfortable with doing that. Basically it'll just wipe out anything on the hard drive that's free space, and just it'll grind away it'll take forever. So I usually don't recommend doing it other than maybe once. If you really feel the need to, you can, but it's not really a requirement. So I just tell people to not check that unless they want to wait around all day for it to finish. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Once you have all these things in here, you've got applications on this tab as well. I use Google Chrome as my primary browser, so I want to uncheck for cookies, because that means I won't have to log back into Yahoo and Amazon or whatever other sites I go to every time. Some of them still require you to log in, but the cookies will help you, and the site will remember you. So most of the time, if you've had a session, you won't have to re-log in. But that's personal preference. I leave mine unchecked because I use Google Chrome, and I don't want to have to retype in information to log into websites every time. And then save form information. I like to have that in case I'm filling out an order form. It'll remember like first name, last name, phone number, and those things. So I can just double click on the field and drop down the window and select whatever's in there that I need to pop into that field. So I usually uncheck those two for my primary browser. If you're using Internet Explorer as your primary browser, you can do that over here as well. Uncheck cookies, and you can uncheck the autocomplete form history as well. And then depending on the applications in your machine, you're going to see different applications in this list. I usually just check them all. Basically it'll just wipe out any temporary files that any of these applications have created. It will not delete any of your personal files. It will not delete any of your documents or your photos. It will not affect your internet connection. So, you know, it's going to be pretty safe. It's just going to wipe out a lot of temporary and unusable files and information on your machine. So once that's all checked and you've got everything set the way you want it, there's two buttons to this application at the bottom here. Analyze over here on the left at the bottom, and Run Cleaner at the right. So I just do an analyze, and you'll see that there's some things that it's detected here, which is not much because I've just been running this program over and over today. You don't need to pay much attention to what it is. It's not really important. It's just 1.3 megabytes will be removed, and in your case, if you're running it the first time, you'll probably have a long list of things. And at this point, you just run over here to the bottom to Run Cleaner and hit the Run Cleaner button, and that'll wipe out all that stuff. You'll notice the green bar at the top gets to 100%, and you're good. Next tab, Registry, over here on the left. Sounds pretty ominous, but it's really not that big of a deal. Registry, you just click that. Everything here is usually checked off by default. Same thing at the bottom, two buttons. This is really simple, people. Two buttons. Scan for issues, and then if it locates any issues, you'll have Fix Selected Issues on the other side. So I usually do the scan, and it'll go through and it'll look for problems. It looks like it found one problem. In your case, you may see this whole column fill up. Usually when you run it the first time, you're going to notice a lot of things popping up. And then over here to the right, after it's done at 100% from the top there, you're going to click Fix Selected Issues. Okay, that pops up another window. If there was multiple issues, it would be another button here that would say fix, you know, all the issues or something to that effect. So yeah, you can fix this one because there's only one, so it's just going to fix the one issue. But if it found multiples, you're just going to select a button in the middle. It will be Fix All Issues or something like that. So fix issue, boom, issue fixed. Wow, that was great. Okay, then you close that, and that's pretty much it. I usually stick to those two tabs, and I run that once a week, once every 2 weeks for my customers, but you can do it yourself. If you follow this tutorial, it's pretty simple. If you need more detailed explanation on what all these things are and every little checkbox, I can get you that information, but most of the time it's not really going to matter. Just check the things that you feel comfortable with, and a lot of things are going to be already default checked. The only thing that's really important for you to worry about is going to be your cookies and your history, or your form information that you've typed into your web browser. If you want to save that stuff, then uncheck those boxes. Okay, and that's if you're using Internet Explorer. Okay, I'm using Google Chrome, so I just turn it off for cookies and save form information. I don't want it to save any passwords, like I said. So I want it to dump out the cache, the history, and the download history, the session history, save passwords. So those are the main ones you're going to really concentrate on as far as doing the cleanup on your system. It's going to be basically wiping out temporary stuff from your web surfing. And it's also going to pull out, you know, files and stuff that you've left behind, temporary files in your system, things that you really don't need that just clog up the system. So just two buttons, Analyze and Run Cleaner. So I hope this tutorial has been helpful for you. If you need any further assistance, you can always go out to my website at geekpro.com, GeekPro.com, GeekPro. Alright, I hope this has been informative for you, and look for some of my other tutorials coming up soon. Thanks so much.